Okay, hey guys, and welcome to the last episode of this Anjuna Deep series. In this episode, we're getting over the lead sound and the two pad sounds that you can hear here. So before we get into the sound design, I just wanted to let you guys know that I've now created a Discord channel for this community. On the Discord channel, you can do things like share tips and tricks, submit your tracks for feedback from myself or other people, and you can also submit your tracks for mixing and mastering as well. We've got a couple different genres in there at the moment, but if you want any more genres added to the Discord, just let me know. And yeah, I just want to make it into a nice community for musicians and producers to just gather around and share what they know. Alright, so without further ado, let's have a listen to the two pad sounds. So these two sounds are playing a low F and a high C, and then a low C and a high F. So for this first pad here, I've just opened up the DX7 synth, and then I've just used the default Deckard's DX preset. So we can just close straight out of that now, and we'll move on to the post-processing. So for the EQ, I've cut out everything below about 200, and then I've also high cut it to about 6000 kilohertz, and pulled down the gain on that quite a bit as well. So I'll show you here with and without the EQing. Okay, and then I just have a Valhalla vintage verb, and I've changed the color to now, and I've pulled the mix down to 56% and the decay to 0.84 seconds. And then I have it sidechained to the kick, and then once again I've just cut out everything below about 300 Hz, just to make sure that all the low end is gone. So now taking a look at the second pad sound, I've made a high sine wave within Serum, and that sort of just fills out the top of the mix. So from here we've got two basic sine waves. On oscillator A, I've transposed the fine down 3, and on oscillator B, I've transposed the fine up 3. And then oscillator B is 1 octave and 7 semitones above oscillator A. And then we have both oscillator A and B going through the filter, and that's just going through an MG low 12 with the cutoff at about 200 Hz and the resonance at about 11%. Okay, and then for envelope 1, we have an attack of 4 milliseconds, the hold all the way down, a decay left at 1 second, the sustain at negative 15 decibels, and the release at about 470 milliseconds. Okay, so from there we'll move on to the LFOs. We'll firstly start off with one set to a half rate, and we'll drag it onto the cutoff and to the pan of the envelope. And we'll set the cutoff to 16 and the pan to 29. From there, we'll select another LFO and shape it like this. You can do so by just clicking and dragging here and here, and then just bending these as you wish. And then for this second LFO, we'll drag it up onto the fine of oscillator A and oscillator B, and we'll have both of those set at 50. So now we'll go into the effects, and we'll turn on a chorus, a delay, and a reverb. For the chorus, we have the mix at about 57. And for the delay, we have it on normal, and we have left set to a quarter and right set to an eighth. And then we have the mix at about 43. And then for the reverb, we have the mix at about halfway on whole. So for the post-processing on this, we have another auto pan. We have the lows cut out. And then we have another Valhalla vintage reverb, which is similar to the one on the other sound, except we have a 26% mix and a 1.85 second decay. And we also just have that sidechain to the kick. So then finally, we just have this top lead sound here. Alright, so you can just copy that sound down there if you like. So this sound is made within Serum. So for this sound, we have a sub in a triangle wave. And then for oscillator A, you go analog and then click DS, saw, and try. And then we've moved that up 2 octaves, and it has 2 voices of unison, which is just detuned very slightly. And then I've just moved the sound to the second wavetable position. And then from there, for oscillator B, we just have a basic saw wave, which is up 1 octave. And then we have the filter with oscillator A, B, and the sub all going through it. And then we've just turned the cutoff all the way down. From there, on envelope 2 we've pulled the sustain all the way down, and then on LFO 1 we've just brought it down here about 75% of the way, and then the rate for it is at triplet quarter notes, and once again we've just dragged it onto the fine, and then we've just changed it by about 7 or 8, and then on the cutoff here we've just pulled it up by about 30. From there we'll go to another LFO and we'll make a shape that looks like this. Then we'll set the rate to 1 bar, and we'll also drag this onto the cutoff. And then lastly we'll just set a macro here and drag that onto the cutoff, and we'll turn that all the way up. From there we'll move on to the effects. Firstly we have a distortion which is on sinefold. We have the drive set to 10% and the mix set to 40%. And then we have a delay set to quarter and eighth notes again, and we've just set the mix to 25%. And then we have a reverb in hall mode with the mix set to 34%. And finally just some low cutting going on. So for the post-processing of this sound, we have another low cut, and then we have a Valhalla vintage reverb as well. And you can see we have the color set to now. We changed the mode to smooth room, and then we have the mix at 25% and the decay at 0.84 seconds. And after that we've just added a chorus, and then once again side changed it to the kick. So for this video I've tried a bit of a different editing style, so just let me know what you think of it, whether you like it, you dislike it, and make sure you follow the link down below to join the Discord channel.